Today on Mina Studio, should your church be using Chromebooks? Welcome to Mina Studio. My name is Nathan, and with me as always is IT Director Ronald. Today we're going to talk about why Chromebooks might be a good option for your church staff. So let's go over what the Chromebook is, what it can do, why it might be a good option for your church staff, or why maybe it's not a good option for your church staff. So let's start with the obvious. What is a Chromebook? If you haven't used a Chromebook or don't know what it is, it's basically a very cheap laptop that's not Mac and not PC. It's an operating system based off the Google Chrome web browser. Remember back like 6 or 7 years ago when netbooks were all the rage? Well, this is what they should have been. So first of all, Chromebooks are cheap, and sometimes really cheap. This particular Chromebook I bought on Groupon for $129. And you can often find last-gen Chromebooks for around that price on Groupon and other websites like that. That's $129 for a functioning laptop. If you're doing the math, that would be 10 Chromebooks for every one MacBook you bought. Is that dissing MacBooks? No, they're awesome computers. But what I see that drives me crazy sometimes is a church buying a top-of-the-line MacBook so that their 85-year-old pastor can check his emails on it. I'm sorry, that's a waste of resources. I don't need to be kind about it. That's just a plain waste of church resources. And let's be honest, sometimes staff computers don't get treated with the utmost care, which if you have a $120 laptop is much less of a big deal than a $1,000 laptop. I don't want to say these are disposable, but they're much more disposable than a MacBook would be. So they're cheap. Next, they're simple, which for Mr. 85-year-old pastor who only knows how to check his email is probably a good thing. There's a lot less that you can mess up on these because finally, they're unavoidably cloud-based, which sounds bad and could be to a lot of people. But if you're getting a laptop for somebody who will only be checking their email and maybe making some documents, then this is a good idea because you don't have a bunch of options to lose things on here because it's all in the cloud and it has to be on the cloud. For instance, if you're making a document, it has to be a Google Docs and it's on the cloud and it's accessible. You're not going to lose a Word document somewhere in some folder you didn't know existed. Your email's right there. All your photos are on the cloud. Everything's on the cloud. So if you have somebody who, let's say, is technically challenged and always seems to lose documents and make everything terribly difficult for everyone else, then this is a good option. Let's just take a quick look at it so you can see what I'm talking about. So here is Chrome OS. Very simple. There's not even anything on the desktop and you can't put anything on the desktop. So over here you have your menu bar and all your settings, just like you would on most laptops. All your Wi-Fi settings and such. Here you have notifications. Right now I'm recording this screen, obviously. Then over here you have the apps that you've kind of bookmarked on the bottom of your screen. You can see I have Chrome. Here's my email, my calendar, my drive. These are notes, photos. These are documents, and these are the files on the computer. If I click this little circle, it will bring me to my other apps or the ability to search anything on my device, which is very googly of Google. And you can see here's all my Chrome apps. These all function like desktop apps, but they're running in the Chrome browser, so they are all web apps. Let's see if I decide to create a document. I'll just click on the doc link, and it will take me to Google Docs. Or if I need to take a note, click on the Keep, and it will take me to my notes on Google Keep. And honestly, that's about it. So you can see how it would be great for some people and terrible for others. For instance, you probably shouldn't buy your creative director or your worship leader a Chromebook because it can't do all the creative tasks that those people would need to do. Things like audio production and video editing and intense photo editing and graphic design. The Chromebook's not really set up to do those things. You need a more advanced laptop like a MacBook or a PC to do that. So if these aren't good for people who do a lot of creative work, why do I have one? Well, my main computer is my MacBook. That's where I do all my video editing and music production and all of that stuff. I actually bought this Chromebook when my previous MacBook died and I didn't yet have the money to get a new one, but I needed still to do the things like emails and make Google Docs and such, kind of the everyday things. I bought a $100 computer online. I bought a $100 Chromebook, and it served me well in the interim. And now that I do have my main computer back, I actually still use this when I travel. We'll bring this with us sometimes because, a little less to lose. And then also when I'm doing like live streams and stuff, the live stream is actually happening on my Mac, and I have this computer sitting next to me, and I answer comments and watch the live stream and make sure it's going well and stuff. So this is probably not a good option for everybody on your staff, but if you have a lot of staff that are just doing web-based things like email and docs and such, then this is a great idea. And it's a really good idea for those who maybe can't handle the full PC experience. And I just want to reiterate this point. You can buy 10 of these for the same price you can buy one MacBook. That is crazy, and that is a good use of church resources. Some other things you could do with them is you could use it as a just general administration computer. Maybe it's just set up in your office at all time because you can all log in with your own Google account, and it will basically be a different computer for everyone who goes on. You could also use it for places like a kids' church sign-in that only need to get online and go to one website at all time, or possibly you could use it in auxiliary rooms with a Chromecast so that there would be a computer in a room that people could use to do presentations and to teach on and such. So there's lots of uses for them, and let me just say this one more time, 10 of these for one MacBook. It's not like I'm in an infomercial, I'm selling you sham wows or something, but... So that's the Chromebook. Could be a great option for your church, or could be a bad option. You'll have to decide for yourself. But if you don't have a huge budget and you need to buy some staff computers that just do simple things, then this is a good way to go. Thank you so much for joining me here at Mina Studio, and I will see you next time for more tech tips and gear reviews for the small church.